putting the spotlight on local businesses in the capital city. This is 402 Business Insider with Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish on 1499.3 KLIN.
Good morning, Lincoln. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider, sponsored by Complete Family Dermatology. I'm Travis Filing with Transformation Marketing, and Gary Tharnish with me as always on he's looking around for his headphones or something.
No, I have the headphones. I can't find the volume emulator.
I got it for you. Here,
Emulator.
I tend to put this up just a little loud. He took them off, and honestly, I don't know if he can hear us right now. Are you all right?
I can hear.
All
No, I can hear.
into the hospital.
How you doing? How
Well,
you doing
I'm
now?
really good, right? I'm great.
Thank God we have an ex-radio
couldn't be
guy who
anywhere.
actually knows what's going on in this studio.
Hey, I'm just here to talk. There was no
That's it.
thinking involved other than that, I thought.
It's kind of a Silence of the Lambs thing. We have Gary strapped to a two-wheeler, and we roll him in, we put him in front of the microphone, and then we just go. And then
Motion in the basket.
Avoid 6-syllable words, please.
That's right.
Please. This is not Jeopardy.
Well, this week we actually have two guests. Two guests this week. We have Aaron Young and Matt Rydberg. Is it Rydberg?
Rydberg.
I mean, Matt and I go back so far because we worked together at the Point about 1,000 years ago.
1999.
Yeah.
It does seem like 1,000 years ago. About was.
And he trained me to be on air.
Yeah.
So
Back in the day when I
Way
was
back.
young, man, 21 years old. I think I was 21. Came into Lincoln from Boise, Idaho.
Didn't have diabetes.
Didn't have diabetes then. Never had a heart attack. Was no criminal record then. All of it was all good. Just coming into town, and then it's so funny because you look like the exact same guys I remember from 1999. So
well,
nice work.
That's an excellent lie. I appreciate that.
You look
But-
great.
Still stuck on trained. Someone trained.
Yes, I'm actually trained.
You've been
in
through
radio.
training?
Keep in mind that was in 1999.
That's right.
No, right.
That's
I was
right.
in sixth grade.
Really?
It's always
My
one.
God.
in a
That's
group.
awesome.
Oh
Right.
my
You're still in what?
goodness. Well, Aaron and Matt are with ChefauChef and Wham Bam Meal in a Pan. Is it same company? It's different companies, right? But kind of run together.
So that's a loaded question, and that's one my business coach really wants me to answer.
Okay.
It's one entity. ChefauChef focuses on feeding the large groups, like catering, like big events. Wham Bam's meant for the family.
Okay.
So we say, ChefauChef cater to the big groups. Wham Bam's for the fam.
Very good.
So you
A
imagine-
Wham Bam for the fam.
There you go. A
I'm
family
taking it.
that leaves a wedding and they're like, that was the best chicken I've ever had. Well, guess what? Now your family can come get that chicken.
All by themselves.
Yep. With the
Mhm.
family of four,
See-
family whoever.
That's why I'm not spending more than $200 on my daughter's wedding dress.
There you
Because
go.
people remember the chicken.
They remember
They
the
do
food.
not remember the dress.
That's right. That's absolutely
I
it.
love it.
Your daughter will remember you said that, though.
Yeah, right.
God, I'm hoping they do listen to the show. Let's move on.
Okay.
Quick.
We're moving
Let's
on
go.
quickly. Yes. I actually did. I when we scheduled this, I'm like, well, I better eat something. And I had, this is my question, is do people get, like, I got a little confused because I figured, because it's catering, I figured it was a take and bake thing.
Oh, yeah.
So I ordered like 2 or 3. I think we ordered like herb chicken, and then we got the beef tips. Oh my God.
Amazing. I know.
The beef tips are unbelievable.
Just give me a whole pan of that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I ate more than I should have, but that's my home run swing.
No.
That's what we hope for. That's what we want. That's what we want to hear.
Do people get confused by that though?
There's so many different concepts out there, and since we are so unique, people kind of put us in their own categories of what they want us to be without really knowing, or kind of, because the idea is there's Blue Apron, there's all these things that when we were starting it, that you either get it and you make it, and the whole concept of Wham Bam, it's supposed to be quick, easy, very little part. You just have to order, and then the meal's ready.
And it's hot. Yeah,
that's
it's
the idea.
hot.
We say, what was it? We can't say hot and ready because that's
It's just
somebody
Wham
else.
Bam. It's hot.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's,
Wham Bam.
it's,
It's
it's
hot.
hot. It is.
it's
And-
hot.
And so, yeah, that's what a lot of people think they're either going to have to make the meal, they're going to have to heat the meal. But what we want it to be is the same thing. When you go to a wedding, you have to heat up the meal. You sit down, you have your meal there. A pan lands on the center of the table and a whole family surrounds it. That's kind of what we want that feel to be. You open it up, you've got your veggies, you've got your protein, you got your starch. It's a healthy meal, not a bunch of preservatives and additives, and a family's eating healthy in a quick amount of time right through our drive-thru.
Yeah, and it's. I mean, I don't want to say cheap. There's a better word than cheap, but it's only $15 a portion.
It's valuable.
It's
And they're
affordable.
monster portions.
And good food, yes.
Yeah,
Very
because
good food.
we ended up, I think I ordered the big pan. I think it's 4 portions, right? And yeah, my son had 3 leftover days that
Yeah.
he took to work,
It's great.
and I gorged myself on it. It was dynamite.
Awesome.
So
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you.
that's crazy. So let's go back and let's just talk about, Aaron, let's talk about how you started, where you started out, and how you got into this business.
So this is, I love this question because I remember being 8 years old, wanting to buy stuff, and my parents are like, no. And I'm like, why not? They're like, we can't afford it. And I'm like, well, what can I do to afford it? They're like, you can make money. I'm like, well, what can I do? They're like, do a lemonade stand. So I was like, what does that mean? So I remember just as a 8-year-old kid going to Walmart, getting lemonade powder, cups, knowing I spent like $5. And if I sell for 50 cents, I just got to sell 10 of them to break even. Anything over that's my profit. I figure I could sell 50 of them. So like, let's go, like, let's hustle this, let's sell it. There was construction people in my neighborhood. So I was selling it to construction workers, doing like a subscription, like pay me $2, I'll bring you
subscription lemonade.
Drink.
I like subscription
It's 100
lemonade.
degrees in Texas right now.
minutes.
I'm going to bring you every half hour. This is how my brain worked at 8 years old.
That's awesome.
So my dad was like, oh, he's a hustler. So I raised money. I went and bought watches and wallets and everything that I wanted to buy at that age, Game Boy games, things like that. And that's just how my brain worked growing up. And then I would do odd and end things. I would pick up dog poop from people's yards. I would paint addresses on curbs. I just was in that hustle grind mode, doing whatever I needed to do to make money so that I didn't have money hindering me. So like if I was in like an honor choir or something and I needed to pay for a trip, I was able to afford it based on all the odd and end jobs that I could do. And so my parents really supported me in any endeavor I wanted to do. If I needed money, they were my backers. And so, because they knew I could pay them back. And if I didn't, they'd kick me out of the house. So, like a bank.
Where do you find those kids?
Yeah.
Like, you want to be my kid? Like, geez. All right. That's great.
I mean, yeah. So it's just, that's kind of how my brain worked from an early age. And like my parents saw that, my teachers would see that.
Yeah.
So I just was able to just kind of have the right support system and the right kind of setup growing up. And, I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I've tried working for other people, and it's just, I always said, if I'm going to break my back or I'm going to kill myself working, I want to do it for me on my time,
on your terms,
for somebody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I had the opportunity.
And good on your parents
Yeah.
for setting you up that way, because I mean, like me, I grew up extremely poor, right? And it was hey, you can get whatever you want. You got to go work to do it because we ain't got it.
Yeah.
And that's an advantage.
And my dad, both my mom and dad were blue collar workers. My dad, I was a claims adjuster. My mom kind of did secretarial work, janitorial, like just kind of anything kind of on and in. But, as a kid, you want what all your friends have. And when you don't, you're like, oh, poor me. But then looking back, and it's like, my parents were always at all my sporting events. They supported me. We never went hungry. We, a family vacation was going to go visit family and stuff like that. I joke and say my parents didn't love me because I never got to go to Disney World. So I did my culinary internship in Disney World. But then I've taken my own kids there, and I'm like, no, my parents were really smart not to take me. Like that was
so they showed they loved you.
Yeah.
Yeah. There goes 5 paychecks
It's
going to Disneyland.
You become a parent and a business owner, and you just see the world in a completely different way. And it's just, you just learn so much. And
honestly, I think the key to being a good parent this day and age is to not be a helicopter parent.
Yeah.
not a helicopter
When I
parent.
volunteered in the schools when my kids were young, late 90s and early 2000s, that was the biggest challenge that I saw, where it's like your kids are learning nothing when you bail them out on every little everything.
Mm-hmm.
That or you
And
give
tell
them
them
everything
no.
they want. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell them no. Exactly.
You know, it just, you got to work for it, earn it. I always tell my kids life's not fair, hated me for it. Now they're like, oh God, I told my kid life wasn't fair the other day.
Well, being a
that
parent,
go?
I want to write a book called Just Give Them the Box, because like literally my kids had more fun when we were in Disney World playing in the swimming pool at the Little Mermaid Resort. Like they had more fun than that thing walking around the 30,000 steps we had to do at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Or anytime you get them something new, they just love playing with the box. Or
that's a great idea
Exactly
for a book.
right.
right?
Though.
Like
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
true.
like there's so many lessons in that where it's just like as parents we want to give them things that we didn't have as kids,
Mhm.
That's true.
and then you realize like, oh, they're spoiled.
Yeah. I remember my son, he came to me, he was 16 and the head on his truck cracked. And he goes, Dad, the head's cracked. What are we going to do? And I said, we?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you what, we're going to do nothing. What are you going to do? And you see it all land on him
dude,
like,
it's
this
tough.
is my responsibility.
Mhm.
And I could have, wrote a check, made it. But what service am I giving him?
Right.
It's at some point, Dad's going to be gone. And you're going to have to rely on yourself to accomplish, and you're going to let yourself down because there was always somebody there to write the check. What happens when dad's dead?
And what a disservice you would be for that first time that your child has to face that and go, whoa, I have to do this?
Yeah.
Now all the hardships are there and you're not.
Yeah.
To explain them and help through.
Yeah, and as a parent, it's easy to forget where you came from and who you are because of what you went through. It's like, oh, I don't want my kids to have to go through that. No, yeah, you want your kids to have to go through that. That's what legacy is all about, as opposed to, completely being bailed out. I told my daughter's French horn story before, where 3 times before school, it's like, do you have your French horn? Do you have your French horn? You don't have your French horn. She comes out to the car finally late, last one, always fixing her hair. I hate people with hair. I have none. So I have no, that doesn't just get out of my life. And then, as a matter of fact, I almost kicked the one elementary kid we took to school for an entire semester at Irving when we were 4 blocks away one day. This girl said nothing until it was raining. And my daughter goes, you made me run out of the house really quick. And now my hair's not done. Can I borrow your comb? I'm like, when's the last time you saw me with a comb? I have been bald your entire life. And the little girl, quiet girl in the background goes, he might have a finger squeegee. I'm like, dude, you're out. But anyway, so she goes to school without a French horn. And of course, the staff knows I own my business, right? So since you own your business, you guys are really wealthy and have all the time in the world. We know how that goes. So anyway, can you bring your daughter's friend? Yeah, I said, no. Yes. Okay, good. I go, I'm not going to, but I can. Oh, well, really? She was really sad. Yeah, I bet. So then lunchtime, she calls, Dad, you're going to bring my French horn. No, I'm not bringing your French horn. Oh, can you give me permission to walk home? No, you don't have position. No, you don't have permission to walk home. You're going to be without. Then the band teacher called me. Hey, Gary, it's John. He happened to be my high school band teacher. So hey, it's John. Can you bring the concerts next week? And she has a solo. Can you please go get her French horn? I said, I can and I won't.
Yeah. Let her play the slide whistle or the kazoo.
Never forgot her instrument the rest of her career.
I thought you were going to give in that story. I
That's
thought
no,
you were going to go,
I did not. I'm a jerk.
Nice.
If the band teacher calls, I better do it. I don't want to make it that person mad.
The lesson.
I know that's it, but it's tough to do.
It is.
I mean, I felt crappy for a little bit.
Right. Just a minute.
It's the long-term investment side of it, right? Like
that's it right
that's
there.
What you have to look for.
That's exactly it.
Picture. And it's that feeling of wanting to give your kids things that you didn't have. I mean, that's a natural feeling.
I get it.
And you can do that to a degree, just do it in the right way, right?
Yeah.
Not constantly with everything and let them learn. I mean, some of the best employees I had came from very, very wealthy parents. Some of the most challenging employees I had came from very, very wealthy parents. So it's not really a socioeconomic thing.
Yeah.
It's more of a just, you know.
And here's the thing too, is you look at it and you go, okay, you have these kids who, and I see it as an employer, you guys probably see it too. You see these kids who come in and they have never been told no in their life. And they have always gotten what they want, or they didn't have to do certain things around the house. And now you ask them to do it. It's like meltdown city. They can't handle it. One of my favorite stories is your about cleaning toilets down at the flower shop.
Oh,
that one.
Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, really, we hired this gal and there were 7 of us at the time. So every 7th week you had to clean the bathroom. So it's going to be her turn. And I said, hey, next week, you clean the bathroom. So, I don't clean bathrooms. 17. Oh, I don't clean bathrooms. I go, well, you will here if you want to use the bathroom. And she goes, well, I'm not. I said, well, I can show you how to do it. It's not a big deal. Well, I'm not going to. So week comes, it's her turn. I said, come on in. I'll show you how to clean the bathroom. I don't clean bathrooms. I'm not going to. I go, well, if you're going to use this bathroom, you're going to clean it. Well, you can't not have a bathroom for me to go. I go, I do have a bathroom for you to use. In order to use it every 7th week, you have to clean. Anyway, this whole thing. So the next morning, it's about 10 o'clock. My sister comes back and goes, you're never going to believe who comes in the front. Who's in the front shop? And we're like, who? Aaron's mom. I go, Aaron's mom? Why is she here? She has a little tote filled with bathroom cleaning stuff. She came in to clean the bathroom for her daughter. I'm like, you do not. I'm sorry, you don't get it. She goes, yeah. You're not going to let me clean it? What does it matter as long as it's clean? Da, da, da. And I go, because your daughter's not learning anything. And she goes, well, it's against law to not let somebody use the bathroom. I go, no, I don't know that. I said, I know. I clean the bathroom every 7. Why is it okay for me to clean up after your daughter? Well, I'll clean up for. No, you're not. So I get a call 3 hours later from her father, who's an attorney. So he wants to start attorneying me about. Yeah, he goes, do you realize it is against the law not to? I go, well, really? I said, I'll take you all the way to court with that one. He goes, what? And I go, I'll take you all the way to court with that. You tell your side of the story. Then I'm going to say, hey, to the judge. Hey, judge. He thinks his daughter's so special that I should clean up after her in the bathroom, but she should never have to clean up after herself. Let's go.
I'd buy tickets to sit in that courtroom and listen to the argument.
I know, right? I was like, tough lesson for her. We fired her several weeks later. She had
no way
because she didn't want to wash buckets and on and on and on.
But the best part was you ended up doing flowers for her wedding.
Like 10 years later, she came in. I'm like, she was now had a doctorate in psychology, which I'm like, oh, I'm not going to say this on the air. Okay. Yeah, it was a lesson.
I would have pulled the future husband aside and go, she doesn't do toilets, right?
They never came to the consultations. The guys could care less usually.
Well, we got to run to a break here. When we come back, though, we're going to talk to Matt about his background. But want to give a quick shout out to Western National Bank. When opportunities pop up, timing matters. Good Lord, my lips just don't work today. Western Nebraska Bank. They're butchering, and they're going to cancel this sponsorship. Okay. I swear.
The problem, dude, is you have it written as West.
I do.
Western National Bank is rooted in local communities, serving businesses and families with experience and consistency. Learn more at mywnb.com.
There we go. I knew I brought you in here for a reason. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider, Travis Filing, Gary Thornish, talking with Aaron Young and Matt Rydberg from ChefauChef and Wham Bam Meal in a Pan. We're going to have more right after this.
Rest of you guys.
And we're back on the 402 Business Insider. Travis Filing, Gary Thornish. We're talking with Aaron Young and Matt Rydberg from ChefauChef and Wham Bam Meal in a Pan. Just want to give a quick shout out to Mendoza Family Insurance, one of our sponsors. We appreciate you guys. So now Matt and I, like we said earlier, we go way back, 1999. I was there at 98. And now how did you, because you were in radio for a long time.
Yeah.
I knew you were in Boise with Brady.
Yeah.
Was it Brady Goodman?
Brady Goodman, one of my best friends still in life.
Is it?
Yeah.
I get so confused
it's real.
sometimes because we all have weird names in radio, but Gary and I don't.
We just make them up. Here's something you'll always notice. If you ever hear a radio guy with two first names, Mark Taylor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That stuff like that. Those are all fake names.
Yeah. For the most part.
McKay was mine on the air, which was not real. And that came from a little girl when I was a preschool teacher, and her name was Megan McKay. Well, the funny thing is, her brother then later on, his name was Matt, right around the same time. So people are like, "Oh, you got your name from that guy on the radio," and he's like, "No, he took it from my family." And they're like, "Yeah, right, buddy." But it is. I took the name from a girl who was one of my favorite kids when I was teaching preschool back in high school.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Teaching preschool in high school.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, I just fell into it. A lot of things I've just fell into, really. And that's why I would tell people is like, you don't know what's around the corner. Just keep walking.
Yeah.
Just keep going. And so falling into that was basically I took a class, like a preschool class in high school, and then I went and taught preschool and I fell in love with it. Kids are just amazing. Kids are just so cool, and they're so great to entertain, and they let you know when you're not being entertaining. So it's a good demographic. Yeah. And so I meet my wife, and I knew I was going to marry a teacher. She was a preschool teacher too. So we ended up team teaching together 4- and 5-year-olds in Lincoln when I lost my job back at the Point in 1999. So we came here. And so I got into radio because I was in high school, and they're like, yeah, you're going to fail out of school. And so you better start taking about 8 classes your senior year. And so I was like, well, what do I need to do? And what am I going to do with my life anyway? I'm not going to graduate. And they're like, oh, well, let's look at some things. Counselor sat me down and was like, oh, there's a radio station like 20 miles from here at this school, Green River Community College. I'm like, let's do it. So I took all my classes, finished all my classes, went to school, Green River Community College, accidentally fell into advanced communication certificate. I said, that's enough. Let's rock and roll. I got in the car, went to Boise, Idaho, got a part-time gig there in Boise, and I met my buddy Brady Goodman, and that's when we took off.
That's crazy. So in high school, they said, you're not very smart, so you're either going to be a bum living under an overpass,
which I thought that's
or a janitor, or in radio.
Right.
So those were your 3 options.
My idea of the future was whatever was going to happen. And truthfully, I mean, it was a lot more ignorant back then. I pretty much thought I was going to be dead by 25, which the majority of people in my neighborhood and family, we had a lot of drugs and alcohol and things in our family. So it was great that I got out. So I left the house at 16, left for Boise at 18. And then I was like 20 in Boise, left and went to Lincoln in 1999 with a guy I met for 6 months. We left his car in the parking lot, packed up my vehicle full of stuff, and we came here together.
And
You're
you
a
guys went back and
scrapper.
picked up his car. For some reason, I do vaguely
We
remember
left his
this.
vehicle at the parking lot. We just kept getting calls from the station, like, when are you guys going to come back and pick up this car? We're like, we're not. Everything's, you burn it.
That's it.
Thing doesn't run anyway.
That's hilarious.
The 1900s were crazy
They were
times,
nuts,
man.
in the 90s, man.
The
People just
80s
left
were-
their cars places.
That's hilarious. So now tell me about how you got into ChefauChef.
Well, this guy, though, Aaron is so much more than just ChefauChef. You think of like a restaurant and owner of a business. Don't think of just like Aaron. That's what he does. Because Aaron, when we originally met, when I was working at KFRX, he had called in. He was doing like sorority and fraternity houses. He would do their breakfast. He'd make their food. And this guy would call in. He just got every joke that we did. He just understood the undertone of stuff that you spent so much time doing, the craft, the art, the little things you put into the bits that nobody ever understands. And everybody asks you, why do you do it?
Mm-hmm.
He was the reason I did it.
That's
Because he
awesome.
would call in and he understood the bits. He would laugh at these things that nobody else really understood. So really, I was doing a whole radio show for Aaron, and so
awesome.
he would laugh at the things that I thought were hilarious. And after a while, it just got to be like, this dude needs to call in more often.
Just kind of, you get in that rhythm.
Mhm.
Yeah, you do.
So he'd
Love
call in, and we always had this thing that I'd get off the air and I go, I love you, man. Watch your back. Huh? What? I love you. Watch your back. Okay. Yeah. So it's funny. You say it to your listeners and they would just be like, what? Okay. Bye. Well, he would always say it when he got off the phone with us. And I was like, you got it, dude. Nice work. So Aaron and I just started, kind of
That's
yakking
funny.
a little bit. And it was one of those relationships, we'd always make each other laugh. He'd send me a card every once in a while when, birthday or even just out of the blue, just to say, hey man, I'm just thinking about you. Hopefully things are going well in life. Well, time goes on. Aaron and I, we, get to know each other. We're friends. He comes to the studio. He's part of Bits, cooking breakfast for folks, making food. And then my life took a gigantic twist in 2019. I had a heart attack January. And then by April, I was deep in a bottle and eating morphine and just not good. And I woke up in jail on Easter morning, 2019. And I was confused and I didn't know where I was, what I was doing until everything just dropped. And you imagine your entire world falling apart in one day. That's what happened.
Oof.
Closest to my family, love my daughters. I'm a good dad. I was a good dad. I was a good husband. That night I was not a good husband. I woke up in jail and didn't know what happened. I found out all this stuff just by the media and people talking to me, social media, seeing all these pictures and all this stuff. Really, 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 really rough time for me. It was truthfully getting close to being what I was going to say would be the end of my days.
Wow.
I had reached a point. I didn't see my family for 6 months. I was in jail for a couple of days, lost my radio job. Everybody in the public, everybody was they just turned their backs, man. People I called wouldn't answer phones that I'd been, hanging out with for 15 years at the station. Just didn't get any calls except for one. I got a call from Aaron. Aaron called
Good
me,
for
man.
you, Aaron.
And I'm telling you, I'm about to cry for this one because
I'll let you catch your breath.
Yeah.
I had people, I can't even remember, 25 texts, people texting me like his mugshot and the story. And my first reaction was, that's not Matt. That's not him.
Yeah.
Like there's something else there that's not being told. And I just knew like this wasn't right. And so, yeah, I was like, how do I get hold of him? Whatever. And then I heard he was out and
Good for you.
just wanted to touch base and just be like, dude, like, what's up? Yeah. Like,
yeah.
I'm not judging. I want to know, like, are you okay? Like what?
Yeah.
And just be an ear.
Like, dude, I would have bought you an ankle bracelet.
yeah.
Like, you didn't have to get this one. They're really expensive.
Yeah.
And with a lot of stuff.
And I don't put any blame on anybody for. I've been the same person when I read a headline or didn't know how to react to somebody or a situation that I was in. So I don't blame anybody for the way that they react. So keep that in mind. I'm not like going, these are all horrible people and this guy was great. It was just that's how it happened.
Yeah.
People had to separate themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they just it makes sense. I would do the same thing in life, and unfortunately or fortunately, whatever it is, that's just how it goes. And then the people who were standing, it literally here's what it felt like to me. I was standing in a forest and looking at all these trees, trying to figure out what tree I was supposed to be around. All these trees fell, and there were a couple that were standing, and one of them was Aaron. And so I knew that was a guy who was going to be in my life for a while. And from that point, I didn't have a gig, didn't have a job, wasn't able to pay for anything. I'm still trying to keep my family in the house, paying rent over there, trying to find a place for myself to live. Aaron gave me a gig, and that was back then in 99. So I started kind of working myself towards other things, started selling jewelry. I was legally, I was working at a jewelry store and doing
want to buy a watch?
Look at my jag, open it up. But so I was doing some other things, but Aaron was just always there, and Aaron has always been there. And then I was working, and then Aaron called me one day and said, "Hey, want to do some marketing and some community outreach for me?" And I said, "Let's do this." And that day he hired me, and it's been that for about a year and a few months now. Yeah, year and a half. And it's been amazing. When I say about Aaron, by the way, he's so much more than just a business owner. His heart is so gigantic, and not only from my personal experiences, how he's been with my family, how he is to complete and total strangers, to the community in general. This is what I loved so much about radio. I didn't really care so much about the music and the, talking about Justin Bieber. And I wanted to connect with the community so much that I wanted to see problems go away. I wanted to see solutions and not just talk about the problems. And with Aaron, I saw that same thing. When there's that guy, you're like, how can we fit him into my life in radio? Well, little did I know I was going to fit into his life and his new business that he brings up and starts up. And now we've got this grand big building and this beautiful. It's an amazing story. It's so great. It's so great. And this guy just owes so much to him just for the belief in me and being there for me. And he's walking me with my walk with Jesus, and just in general, he's been one of the best people in my life.
Man. Yeah, no, it's been so great to see just kind of that moment when you're just like somebody at their lowest and just being that support for them and helping them there. But like, he's put in all the work. Like, I haven't done really anything other than just be a friend for him.
Yeah.
He's done all the work. Like, I wasn't going to the bathroom to clean it for him. He was cleaning his own bathroom, his own big old poop mess.
My mom didn't show up.
He was doing all that. But like, I loved what he did at KFRX. I loved how he had nonprofits coming in, how, anytime there was a Make-A-Wish event, like they would raise thousands of dollars. And it's just, that was the kind of vision I had, knowing that we were going to be getting this new building. We were going to have a lot of growth. I wanted to be able to bring somebody on board who could see my vision, knew I wasn't doing this just for money, but to really make an impact with the community, with our team. And the timing, the stars just aligned where he was available. And it just was like that. My wife and I always said, like, if you have to force it, it's not the right time.
Right.
So true.
And so it worked out perfect. I was in this growth phase where I needed to hire kind of a leadership team, and Matt was there. And it's like, dude, I'm literally just like, whatever you did with KFRX, I wanted you to do for Wham Bam. Like,
that's,
know that.
I mean, I'm just meeting you for the first time today, but that's also who you are, right? You are human like all the rest of us. We all fall short at times. You just happen to do it publicly. It sounds like something that would happen to me and has.
Right.
I mean, what I admire about you is that you just talked about it on the radio, because so many times we look at what's going on with kids these days. Suicide rates are up because they look on Facebook and all the social media, and everybody's happy and wonderful. Life is perfect, and life is not. Business is not perfect. We've all had those times in business. If you're a business owner, if it hasn't happened to you yet, it's going to happen soon. And then right after you get out of it, it's probably going to happen again. We go through crap in life. Always. So it's my dad's favorite saying. I say it all the time, probably to the point where one of these days Travis is gonna like, we don't want to hear that again. But he would always say, it's never the mistakes you make in life that matter, but it's what you do about them. Right.
So true.
And then for you to be there as his friend and pick him up out of that speaks volumes for you as well. So kudos to you guys, and kudos for as talking about on the air.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
that helps people.
That's the one thing that I love about this show is that we talk about the bad stuff because that's why you learn. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, we had Troy in, and I was talking about a franchise that I bought. I lost $250,000. It sucked. I mean, big time. But no matter what, it's gone. What did I learn? But now what can I pass on to somebody else to learn from that as well?
And that's
what we do.
This has been such a big thing. And, just to get to the final of it, I did put in a lot of work. Yes, I had a lot of people that were holding me when I was ready to fall. And so it wasn't just me and my family. We're doing better than we ever have. My wife and I married 21 years. We just celebrated.
Outstanding.
My girls and I, and my daughter's in college, and she just got on the dean's list. And my 6th grade daughter is just doing great at Lincoln Christian. Man, my family, I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed, man.
Outstanding. Well, we have a break coming up here. Let's see if I can read this one.
You got this.
The test is on. I can do this because you hear my failures every day when I try and read copy.
Don't make me do Blaine and Corey.
That's how you know this is real, though.
But quick thanks to Sartor Heyman Jewelers. They've been a trusted name in Lincoln for generations, helping families mark life's biggest moments with quality craftsmanship and personal service. And Valentine's Day coming up. What are you guys going to do? Candy, flowers? Don't do it. Don't do it. Make a bold gesture. One she'll remember for generations, or at least years. Sartor Heyman Jewelers, downtown 12th and O, South Point Pavilions. They also have a store in Grand Island, and they're online, sartorheyman.com. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider, Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish, talking with Aaron Young and Matt Rydberg from ChefauChef and Wham Bam Meal in a Pan. We'll have more right after this break. Boom. And we're back on the 402 Business Insider, sponsored by Red Rhino Roofing. Today we're talking with Aaron Young and Matt Rydberg with ChefauChef and Wham Bam Meal in a Pan. Woo! So I want to talk a little bit about building the business. So, I mean, we got through, you were selling lemonade in Texas, right? And then how did you even end up in Lincoln?
So my dad was originally from the Midwest, West Des Moines, moved here in high school, graduated from East, went to UNO, got his first job down in Albuquerque. And then his job just kind of took us all over the country. We lived in Ohio, we lived in Texas, and then eventually had the opportunity to come back to Lincoln and jumped on that. And we moved back here in 2001. But a lot of people ask me, like, where did the name ChefauChef come from? Like, what does that mean? And the way that we have it spelled, it's one word. It literally translates to nothing. Like, it's when I Googled it back in 2010, nothing came up. So I was like, I need that. I want something super unique that no one else has. And so I essentially got it registered in 2012, trademarked, and it's our word. And if you separate it out, it's French to cook or head to head. But like I said, I put it together, capitalized the C's, originally envisioned there being 2 broken plates. And so you kind of see the logo. A lot of people see 101 and it's like, we do the basics really well, but building the business, it all started with, I was actually a personal chef at a sorority house. And in my second year, a lot of the girls were bringing their boyfriends over, their friends over, and they're like, hey, what you're doing here is really cool. Can you essentially duplicate this and do it at our house? So that got me thinking, hey, can I replicate what I'm doing at this house? I learned about the other competitors and companies that do Greek house contracts, and they were all very like, this is the price point, these are the menus, this is what you get. So I'm like, I can be more customizable. So, because that's what I did with my girls. I literally go, what do you want to eat? What don't you want to eat? And I would make my menus around that. Girls were like, we really want to try sushi. So we'd have sushi parties. Girls were like, we really want to try fish. Okay, let's get some orange roughy. Let's get some red snapper. Let's get some salmon. Let's do taste testings. And we would just do fun stuff like that. And so, or they'd be like, my dad, raises cattle. Can we do like can you do anything with like half a cow? Heck yeah, let's get that meat in here.
You betcha.
Yeah, we can do a lot. Give me the primal cuts and we'll have some fun. So anyway, that was back in 2010. So then I started kind of forming the business plan. 2011, I presented it to the house I was at, and they said no.
I was like, this idea.
I was
no.
like, they were like, make it a business, give a proposal, all this stuff. And eventually they did 3 months getting everything put together. And they're like, we just want you as a cook. We don't really want to hire your company. And I'm like, well, I want to be more than just a house chef. Like, I just have this vision. 2012, crazy year. Got married, went officially full-time with the business, bought our first house. So crazy year. I'm like, if the Mayans predict the world's going to end, let's go all out and let's just overload it. That's just how I work. And so I actually left that sorority house in the summer. I got hired with a local company that was going through ownership changes. Was hired their executive chef. Got married in June. And then July, a fraternity house approached me saying, hey, we want to hire your company. I go, how'd you hear about us? Oh, our sister was in the sorority house. We heard you were available. We want you as our food service company. So I got my first contract in the fall of 2012, and it was just me. Just one house, me. I think I had 1 wedding on the books, and I had a couple corporate caterings. 2013, that fall, we had 3 houses sign up with us. We were doing 6 weddings, and I think we had like three corporate contracts that we were catering for. 2014, I got the space that we just moved out of. We had, we did a little cafe there called A Cafe. We were open just Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to like 2 p.m. We were managing 10 fraternity houses. We had 30 weddings on the book that year. And then it just kept kind of scaling from there. Sure. 2017, we had the Talon Room. I had 12 Greek houses. We had the cafe. I think we were doing 60, 70 weddings that year. We had over essentially 500 events we were catering for. And we peaked. And I hated my life. Absolutely hated my life. I think we had the most sales that year, and I had the littlest amount of profit.
What did she do?
My wife was a nurse, full-time nurse, and she worked overnights. Hate her? No, I hated my wife.
No, life.
Oh, your life. Oh my God.
Life.
I thought you go, and I just hated my wife.
This is why you enunciate.
Oh no, this is a terrible story.
I
was so busy, I divorced my wife.
That escalated
Don't
quickly.
let that happen to you.
No, I hated my life.
I'll listen better.
That's what, no, thank you. That need to enunciate.
What did she do?
She was a nurse.
She's a nurse. No, I mean, why you hated her?
She fixed my boo-boos.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I hated my life at this point because I had so many different elements that we were involved with.
You scaled like
we
crazy.
Scaled in 500%.
That could be so good and it could be so dangerous.
It was one of those things where I had a mentor tell me for every 33% growth, you need to have a new structure. I had grown over, I think, 5,000% and had no structure. And so that's why I hated my life.
Loved his
I
wife.
loved my wife.
Always his wife.
Okay.
Yeah, life. And I said, something has to change. I essentially have to trim the fat. I have to get rid of what's driving me crazy.
Sure.
We need to be more profitable. I would rather, make less in revenue, but a higher profit margin.
Mm-hmm.
And so we really focused on that. And I sold the talent room to my GM who runs it still today, Matt Rydberg. That's where we met for the Empower Breakfast. And then I closed the cafe to focus on catering. I still did the fraternity houses. And over the years, I've kind of been trimming it. And then we launched Wham Bam Meal in a Pan in 2018. And just with the concept of bridging the gap of, I would do these weddings and events and people are like, I love your food, but I don't know when I'm going to have another big wedding or a big event where I can hire you to cater for us. And so my wife was working full time. We had 2 young kids at that moment. And, just if we went out to eat, it was just crap. I was tired of feeling bad. Or we would go out to eat and it's just like, it's so expensive. And I'm just like, there's got to be another solution. So I packaged up some lunch catering food. We had some chicken, mashed potatoes, and green beans, kept it warm. Got home. My wife's like, what's for dinner? I throw the pan on the table. She goes, wham, bam, dinner's done. And I was like, I didn't think about it until the next day. I'm driving to work and I'm like, how can I bridge the gap? What if I could do something like this? Put a post on social media just saying, hey, if I were to provide this service, who would be interested? Got like 600 likes. It got shared like 200 times. And I'm like, okay, there's something here. So then I started developing, and I really like that wham bam dinner's done just kept popping up. And so I was like, what can I do that rhymes with it? And Wham Bam Meal in a Pan.
That's awesome.
And so trying to keep
I love
it simple
the
like
name
that.
of that.
And I'll tell you, we've talked to so many business owners. This is such a valuable lesson for business owners. You need to take a look at your business and what is taking the time and what is making the money. And sometimes you have to cut things out of your business and move in a different direction, even if it's what got you there.
Yeah.
What's the book? What got you here won't get you there. I mean, that is so important because we've had to cut things out of our business. Yeah. We don't offer that service anymore because it's not profitable. It's time consuming and somebody else will do it better, faster, cheaper.
Well, and I was really big into studying Jim Collins' Good to Great at that moment. That was the one that I was really focused on. And I really liked the hedgehog concept of what can I do better than anybody else? And even to this day, the Wham Bam Meal in a Pan program, the food that's ready to eat, it's protein, starch, and a veggie. There's no one else that really does it or puts a lot of effort into it. It's always kind of a back burner thing. And so even my business coach, when she's looking at our books, she's like, this doesn't make money. I go, we haven't really given it the actual like college try or whatever. We haven't really given it the attention and the time that it needs. And so she's kind of made me put a time frame on it that if it doesn't produce what we need it to produce, then we will cut it. And so it's a year-long kind of scale is what we're trying to figure out to get to where it needs to be. Because I really believe in this product. She sees my passion for it. She sees it. But from a business standpoint, looking at the numbers, it's like, don't focus on this, focus on the catering. And it's like, I get that, but this to me, if you're familiar with the term ikigai,
no,
there's 4 concepts of it. It's what are you good at? What can you make money for? What does the world need? And oh man, I can't think of it. But it all ties with that. But the whole purpose of it is like the world needs family dinners. Like that is where good conversations, that's where memories happen, is around the dinner table.
And healthy.
And healthy. Because I see all my friends, their kids are in these programs, sporting events and all this stuff. And then they're just eating like fried chicken and mac and cheese. And like that stuff's fine every once in a while, but like, let's give them clean protein. Let's give them some really like our ingredients are never more than 3 or 4 items and they're real.
So you're in the middle of this year now.
Yeah.
This test year. So if it doesn't work, what about franchising something like that? I mean, that would be an awesome drive-through. I mean, I know you have still have a drive-through in the new building. I know that. But I mean, just the idea of that Wham Bam Meal in a Pan, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, I would do that in a heartbeat over going to McDougal's and getting 4 combo meals that are probably going to cost me more
than that
day and age.
I mean,
right. And it's not, I mean, I can leave that sitting outside for 6 months and it looks the same. So something healthy.
Big picture wise,
I don't know. I'm just kind of like spitballing for you.
I mean, we want to have a proof of concept, right? And so that's kind of what this stage is, because people are like, you need to go to South Lincoln. I'm like, I'm trying to do really the Chick-fil-A, McDonald's kind of method. Is like, I want to buy the land and own the building, because that's where value is.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not about the burgers, it's about the land. You kind of was the Ray Kroc famous thing where he found like, oh, that's what we need to do. So it's like, I'm looking at this more than just to build the legacy for the family. But I love the Chick-fil-A model where like the corporation owns the building, owns the land, owns the equipment, and then leases all that back to the owner operator. But then the owner operator really has the say of building the team, using the systems, following the franchise model, but then they have ownership of it. And so, but all the risk is on the corporation, putting it in the right location, building all that. So, I mean, that's like the big picture, hairy, audacious goal kind of idea. But we want to prove the concept here. We want to work out all the kinks. I mean, this is our testing the waters. Like we just did a huge promo today. This is Sunday, so this was on Tuesday. We did a really big promotion that did really well. Like it got, we wanted to have more people come through for lunch, so we did a BOGO. And it proved to the team that we could do X amount per in sales during that time frame. So like it shows them what they can do, what can be done, and we're learning so much right now. And
and you guys do single serving. The thing that really surprises me is like my wife a long time ago, she signed up. I think it was like the factory meal or something. They go in the freezer, and it's disgusting. I mean, it was. We've all tried it. Next thing you know, you open up the freezer and there's like 30 of them in there. And my wife goes, I don't like these. Well, then stop getting them delivered. Right. Yeah. And she goes, well, should I keep them? For what? I wouldn't feed these to the dog. They were awful. And they were more expensive than what you guys are bringing to the table, which, and I'm not just saying this, it was fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
The beef was unbelievable. So
appreciate it. Yeah. That is one of our best sellers. And that's why we have this model now where it's very similar to a restaurant where we have set menu items that are there all the time. And so we want people to, if you're craving beef tips tomorrow, you can go get it, or later today, you want it, go get it. Like put the order in, go pick it up.
And off you go. And it's quick too.
Yeah,
it's
wham,
quick.
bam.
Yeah. Wham, bam. My gosh. It's almost like you were using your brain when you named this thing. It's that quick. Again,
my wife, who I love, I don't hate her, love her.
Well, let's run to a break here real quick. Quick thanks to our sponsor, the Lincoln Airport. Have you seen all the new destinations? The Lincoln Airport.
It's amazing.
It is crazy. I mean, Denver, Chicago, Dallas, Fort Worth, Phoenix, Los Angeles, Orlando, Vegas. You know what I just realized? 1 year ago, the Lincoln Airport signed on as a sponsor at the 402. And now, back then, they had two destinations, Denver, Chicago. Fast forward a year, 1 year sponsorship with us, and now they've added Phoenix and Orange County, right?
That's what happens when you get on the show.
It has to. That can't be a coincidence, right? Two new airlines. I think it's us. So instead of me thanking maybe they should be thanking us. No, maybe not.
Invoicing.
I don't know. Yes. Well, the next time you fly, check out the Lincoln Airport. Go online, LincolnAirport.com. Save time, save money. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish, talking with Aaron Young and Matt Rydberg from ChefauChef and Wham Bam Meal in a Pan. We'll have more right after this.
Listening to the 402 Business Insider, sponsored by The Cabin Virtual Indoor Golf. Today, our guest is Aaron Young and Matt Rydberg from ChefauChef and Wham Bam Meal in a Pan, which I just am so... That just brings me back to my Batman days in the late 60s. Or was that a dream? I'm only 40. Let's see. I can't remember. Anyway. And then you show me your logo, which is great, which is the fist. It's like, pow, zazam. Wham, bam, meal in a pan. It's done. Dinner's ready.
We want that. It's like you literally ask the question, what's for dinner? And we want wham, bam to pop into your mind. So
and
then you order it. So you order it, come to the drive-thru, you go home. Then you have the rest of the evening to do whatever you need to do. You're not cleaning, you're not doing dishes, you're not cleaning up, you're not prepping, you don't really have to go shopping. Like
you don't have to think of what the answer is. The answer is wham bam. So like even last night, my daughter was coming back home from work and she's like, what's for dinner? Always, what's for dinner? What's for dinner? The answer should be wham bam. Yeah. And the cool part about it is now is that people didn't know that we did lunch before because it was just basically pick it up in the afternoon when you're heading home to get your dinner. So lunch now you can wham bam. Send one person at work to go pick up all your orders and bring them back.
Oh, there you go.
Such a better food than just, fast food, but the drive-thru, it's going to be quick. People have asked the question too, like lunchtime, I don't have that much time. I got a half hour. Can I get my pan? We're not like going to make you beef tips, slow cook them right then when you order them.
They might take a while.
They're fresh and they're good and they're ready for you to take as you pull up. So make your order, pre-order, pull up, take your food back to your office or wherever you want to eat.
And you can even pick your time. This is where I went wrong. When you get to the last screen, if you go online, click on the time and you can actually order it 4, 5, 6 hours a day, probably a
7
day.
days ahead of time.
So you can make a plan and which is easy because my son works in Lincoln, and I go,
Exactly
hey, drive over to Wham Bam, get the beef tips. I know I'm stuck on the beef tips.
That's all right,
What
man.
we're seeing a lot right now,
They
though,
are
is
good.
a lot of people are buying pans for like the meal trains for people that are having babies, surgeries. Those are really good ways. So even like, oh, I do a lot of food prep, or I like to cook at home. Well, it's fine, but like, you don't have to cook for everybody. You can get us and you can share it and you can give it to people, because nothing really says I love you more than a warm meal.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you think about it. If you've ever had a loved one die, all the sweet old ladies bring you over casseroles.
There you go. So you got to get in with all the, have your marketing guy over here.
Yeah.
Get in with all the, was it
ladies.
Mary Martha? What was it? What's the ladies at church? Is it Mary Martha?
Mary
I think
Martha's.
groups.
God, that's hilarious.
There we go.
We have a lot of those ladies that come to us and like, I'm just tired of cooking.
Yeah.
I'm tired of
Sure.
it.
Yeah.
And so we have a lot of empty nesters that come to us because they like our food. Like
Or
they know it's good food.
Yeah, I always want to sign up for those things and help them, but I don't know if I'm be showing 3 homes at night. I mean, as a realtor, my life is governed by that, right?
Which is another thing great for realtors. Leave one of the gift certificates on the table for somebody who has got a new house, so they don't have to
Or
worry
bring it
about
over the day they move in.
Yeah, I mean, whatever it is,
great
that's the
idea.
cool
Right.
part about it too. We have
Gift
gift
idea.
certificates, because the nice thing is that when you get food and it's frozen, I like leave it in the freezer for a year. I
Right.
just do. And we just never eat it. I'm
And then you
sorry
throw it
whoever
away
dropped
'cause
that
it's
stuff off,
frozen.
right?
Yeah.
But when it's hot, we almost want people to stop
Yeah.
and sit down. And it's not like we'll eat it when we want to, or you can take your pan and run upstairs and you can take yours and go in front of the TV. We kind of like the idea. So the lady who came in and bought the dozen of single pans, I'm like, we could do that in a family style. And she's like, no, I'm driving home and I'm dropping them off to all these people. She had all these friends she was bringing them to. So they have individual pans, people that are single, widows, whatever that is. But when it's family and we do a family pan, like a family 4-pan that you got, we want that to land in the middle of the table. We want everybody to come together. We want that. That's a big part of it, is everybody getting together and sit down over a meal. That's where problems are solved. That's where
I agree.
conversations start,
And
Yeah,
sadly,
definitely.
I think it's going away.
No,
I really do.
That's why we're bringing it back. And that's why we're here.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's why we
Because
invest in the drive-thru
we just
and-
moved and we didn't put a TV on the first floor.
Good.
So it's always
That's great.
eating dinner together. Nobody goes in the living room anymore because the TV's on. You are blindly watching something on Netflix now that we have 1,000 choices.
While
Yeah.
blindly putting
Huge
something in your
difference.
body with
Right.
no
And
nutrition.
so
Yeah.
much communication.
we
goes
have to
on.
tell our kids no tablets at the table. Like,
Mhm.
it's literally like we
Yeah.
talk about the day. We like, what's one funny thing you did, or
Yeah.
what did somebody else do that was really funny, or what did you learn that
Yeah.
was that you didn't know before? What's a
Yeah.
challenge? Like, it's creating that space. I mean, we've even talked about trying to like give like questions that we could give to families that they could have around the dinner table.
Yeah.
So there's really no thought. So we add value
Cool idea.
to their pickup. Like, here's a conversation speech, you guys can talk today or whatever,
That's clever.
And so just like
And that's
elevate
what
that hospitality side of
Yeah.
it.
And that's what I love is you guys take the biggest nightmare of family dinner out of the equation. Because now I just have to show up and eat
Yeah.
and talk to the kids.
Well, there's that decision fatigue that happens to all of us, especially entrepreneurs or business people, really in any leadership position. At like 5 o'clock, you've made so many decisions up to that point. Literally having to answer what's for dinner is stressful.
Is that like the worst question in the world?
It
Right?
is.
It
It
is.
is. And the time that's wasted for everybody to go, well, why don't we get this? Why don't we get that? By the end of it, everybody's like, well, nobody's going to be happy. So why don't we just eat something out of the freezer?
Right.
Well, the answer at first is Wham Bam. Don't even argue about it.
Cereal
Just go
and
get one.
peanut butter and jellies.
Yeah.
And you're not going to want to hear this, so plug your ears.
All right.
But everybody talks about work-life balance, which he hates, and I get it.
You about the
But
alignment.
really,
There's no such thing.
really, what it's about, if you want balance in your life, just be where your feet are.
Ooh, that's good.
Just think about
I
that.
like
Just
that.
be where your feet are,
Be in the
or
present, in the
your
moment.
butt if you're sitting down, whatever. Be where you are at the moment. So don't come home, whether you have Wham Bam meal in a pan or not. If you come home and your mind is still at work or it's on these problems or whatever, you're not engaging with where you are. If I'm sitting here right now and thinking about this house I have to show in 2 hours, I'm not engaging with you. So to me, balance, work-life balance is not like 40 hours at work, this many hours at home, that many hours at church or whatever your hobby or whatever else is. It's more of just like always make sure you where your feet are,
Yeah.
because you're always going to have 1,000 things on your mind that you're thinking of, right? And one of my favorite paintings is a painting of a man, and he's pulling a big cart behind him. And when you look at it, you're looking at the profile. Here's the man's body, and then there's this tiny neck, and on the cart is a head 5 times the size of the man. And it's really like that's what we go through every day, right? The doubt, the fear. No, you can't. What if? And the idea of having a meal made is great because then you have to make the time, to make it and everything. But the real key is to be where you are.
Yeah. And I will say too, being a business owner, I mean, you get flooded. I
Yeah,
remember
constantly.
when we first started our business, it was we rented space out of the bank down in Panama,
Mhm.
and my kids were little, right? And they had a little TV in the lobby. And then I would get off of work at the radio station and I would go down there and I would work. We'd put the kids in front of the TV. Then Shannon would get done with her work. She'd take the kids home and then I'd work till midnight. And it's like, before you know it, life is whizzing by. And so even if you can just dedicate one night a week, because your kids will be grown and gone, because Gary and I are there. You're pretty much there. You're getting there. Yeah.
And my oldest is now 11.
Yeah. It's like that.
And
over.
I think a lot
Younger
of us,
than my oldest grandchild.
we look at it as like, oh, that
Seasons.
doesn't happen anymore. People don't sit around the tables. That's so
not
old
true.
fashioned. That's so back then. But the one thing is that I think that if everybody tries it, at first it might be a little uncomfortable, but really that's the change sometimes that the family needs, is just a moment together to breathe and not have anything else to do except for eat and talk.
Well, especially if the mom can have a break or the dad can have a break.
Well,
and, like,
everybody
just gets to enjoy
right.
it.
So we found when the kids were younger, probably 8, by the time they were 8 and 10, it was pretty obvious that we're not having our family meal nights again anymore. Why? Because the kids are in 4 different things, each of them in 4 different things. So we're out transporting them around town all week long. And then there's games or tournaments or whatever on the weekends. Finally, we're like, hey, you can pick 2 things that you want to do. And once we did that, we then gained back at least 3, maybe 4 nights a week where we had a meal at a table. But we did it all the way up through high school with them. And it was pretty kind of, you create that habit. I mean, when I was growing up, we were like, all summer long, we could go wherever we wanted in town because it was safe back then. I was with a young guy the other day and I said something like, you know, when the wall came down in Germany, then Lech Walesa was in Washington, D.C., and I was there. And he's like, just stop. I just love stories that start, you know, when the wall came down. I'm like, I'm so seasoned. Here we go. But, you know, you could do that. But we always had to be home for dinner. Every night at 6. You can go up to the pool and swim all day if you want. You can ride your bike to Pioneers Park. You can do whatever you want, but at 6 o'clock you have to be home. Then we could go out again till the street lights came on. I mean, this day and age, probably not very safe for your kids to do that, sadly. But I mean, the point was dinner was a big thing, and it made a big difference.
And we always made one meal very important. We always had Sunday night. We always got together. And now my kids are grown, and we have, you know, my daughter has grandkids. They live up in Elmwood. We're still down in Panama. We still get together every Sunday for dinner.
Yeah, I love
it's,
that.
You want to talk about a gift. And that's something. And again, right back to you guys. You guys take the worst part of it. The only drawback is making the meal.
Somebody's got to cook.
Yeah, exactly. We have a hard break coming up here. So want to give a quick shout out to Barry Law. Appreciate them sponsoring the show. Barry Law is nationally recognized for representing veterans and individuals in complex legal cases, known for standing up for veterans and clients who need strong advocates when the stakes are high. Barry Law, trusted legal representation with a mission to serve. They're actually helping my son-in-law, who is a veteran, and they're representing him in a case. So jsbarrylaw.com. Check them out. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish, talking with Aaron Young and Matt Rydberg with ChefauChef and Wham Bam Meal in its pan. I almost did it. We'll have more right after this.
Stories of local success. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
We're back on 402 Business Insider. Gary Tharnish, Travis Filing. And we're talking with Aaron Young and Matt Rydberg from ChefauChef and Wham Bam Meal in a Pan. This segment sponsored by the UPS stores. It's time for 5 takeaways. This is where we get 5 things our listeners can apply to their business today. Sponsored by Nebraska Farmers Network. Aaron, what's that first piece of knowledge that you have now that you wish someone gave you the day you started?
Oh, it's so good. Honestly, live in the moment. You know, plan for the future, live in the moment. I love the saying, you know, yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery, today's a gift. That's why it's called the present. Like as a business owner, an entrepreneur,
an English major.
Yes. Gibberish. You know, visionary. We're so worried about the future that, you know, you were kind of saying earlier, it's like, we just got to, you know, stand where your feet are now and enjoy this moment. It's like, there's so many things I could be doing right now, but having this conversation with you guys, this is awesome. Like, this fills my cup. This is what I really enjoy. So really don't take the moments for granted. Live in it, cherish it, learn from it, grow.
Yeah. You know, when I hear people say life goes by so fast, it feels like, you know, it's kind of like, it's a choice. Right. And I think the more I've been focused, I quit listening to news like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And it completely changed my life. Completely. People are like, how can you do a radio show and not be up on news? Trust me, I find out every day what's going on. Like, did you hear what's happening in Iran? Oh no. Like, and I don't say what's happening. I just go, no, and of course they tell you.
Please educate me.
But it has
let me know when they get to Iowa, then I'll pay attention.
Yeah, exactly. We're right back. We're toast because of Stratcom. But anyway, I know the lady that that's a radio show. But being where you are, that is so true. That's a great takeaway. That's a good business lesson to just start with. Be where you are. Plan for say that saying again. I love that.
So yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery, today's the gift. That's why it's called a present.
I love that.
Love it.
I love
that.
Kung Fu
Outstanding.
Panda.
What's that?
Kung Fu Panda.
Is that what it is?
Oh my God.
We're
By the
like,
way,
wow, this
I
guy.
actually-
I
actually really love Kung Fu Panda. I would
Suckers.
watch that 100 times, but I had 2 daughters.
Yeah.
I mean, my son was years ago, so the 2 daughters, is fortunately I watched a lot of Frozen. But anyway, I did love Kung
That's
Fu
a good one
Panda.
too. Let it go.
Let it go.
So
Right.
much to let
There
it
you go.
go.
Takeaway number 2.
The let them theory. Just let them.
That's hilarious.
Oh my God, I love that.
Give him more Disney movies. He keeps doing it. I'm telling you.
I love movies.
That's great.
So
What's the second
movies,
thing?
not movies.
So
Love
what's the next takeaway that we have for everybody? What's the second thing that
Have
you have?
fun. Here
Yes.
we go.
Yes,
Just
have
like
fun.
this.
It's definitely got to be in there.
Matt, what's our number one core
Oh,
value at
it's
ChefauChef?
fun. Our first one is fun. That's what we want everybody to have when they work there, when they come in, when they eat with us. We want fun to be just in the air.
Not only do we want to give you great food, we want to give value in like making your event fun.
Mhm.
Like when you hire us or you have us do an event, it's going to be fun. Like it's not just, black and white. One of my favorite sayings is it's from Will Guidara's book, Unreasonable Hospitality. He goes, black and white service is black and white, hospitality is color. And color's fun. Like it makes it so much more alive. And so laughing, smiling, joking. I mean, like I said, if you just somebody comes in here and it's like, this is a good show. Business is hard.
Right. Yeah.
Crickets.
Are we done yet?
Yeah.
I mean, and it helps employees. I mean, if your employees, and it doesn't have to be a laugh riot all the time, but have fun and a relaxed atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's huge as far as your employees go. They want to show up to work.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when we were over at, you were at the Planet, I was at the Eagle, and you would get up and not feel good, and you would still go to work just to see what was going to happen today.
Right.
Well,
It was so much fun.
Well, attitude is contagious, right? And one bad apple spoils the whole bunch. One bad manager can ruin culture in 6 months.
One bad team member.
One bad team member, whatever. If you're not happy, bad day.
Yeah.
I always used to love this, what's going on today? You don't say, oh, I don't really want to be here. It's like, dude, I really don't want to be here either.
Yeah.
But let's have fun and make it through the day
Yeah.
and do the best we can because it could be our last,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that Tuesday we were busy. It was fun. Like
Yeah.
it was work, but like everyone was pitching in, everyone was doing it. And it was like, this is fun.
And your customers will feel that.
Yeah,
They do.
Your
They
clients
do.
know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do.
That's
They see that.
awesome. What's our third takeaway? What's the third thing that you have that people can apply on Monday?
Oh man. I mean, document. That's kind of one of those things that a lot of business owners don't like to do.
Right.
Document processes, procedures. Like, as the entrepreneur, I have to get away from the mindset of no one's gonna be able to do it as well as me. Well, have I documented it? Have I written out my process, my procedure? And if I haven't, and then I haven't given that to my team, then I've set them up to fail.
Yeah. If you're gone tomorrow for 6 weeks because of an illness.
And so
Is your company going
document
really good?
everything. I mean, but like, especially like if you do something specific, document it.
Mm-hmm.
Document. That's what my business coaches really helped me with. Definitely I would say with that, admit when you don't know something, like write out what you're scared of, what you're worried about, what you don't know,
Talk about it all the time.
and seek out those people that do. I mean, surround yourself with people. Obviously, John Maxwell says all the time, surround yourself with people that are smarter than you in areas that you don't know. That's how you grow. That's how you
exactly
trust. And I heard this saying the other day from Michaela at the food bank when she was doing her sabbatical. She called her niece who was in Florida. And she's like, I'm really homesick. What do you recommend? And she's like, I heard this saying on TikTok. And it's if you want to have a village, you got to become a villager. And it's very similar with being a business owner. You can get very lonely very fast trying to do everything yourself. And you will drive yourself crazy doing that.
And
So
get
the
depressed.
first question that comes to mind for me is, why did you hire Matt? No, I'm kidding. Oh, for fun. That's
fun.
it.
No.
He's the fun guy.
No,
I love it.
the
You are fun,
outreach,
Matt.
Yeah, the marketing side. Like I said, he
I love
grew his radio station as program director to the #1 in
Sure.
the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like obviously he knows how to grow something, scale it, but he's really passionate. He's really good, and I want that in our company.
And he's on message.
Yeah.
He has been through this whole interview.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed it, right?
Yeah.
But the Wham Bam and the meal pan comes out a lot. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, and,
That's awesome.
and making sure that you have things written down just in case, because you never know what's going to happen.
No.
You never know what's going to happen. I literally have a file in my desk that says Travis gets hit by a truck, which I have a dark sense of humor. I hope that's how I go, because that would be hilarious, because there is a file when Travis gets hit by a truck.
Probably gonna
You
be a
open it
Prius.
up. But people can pick up that file and they can go right through my day-to-day operations. They can pick up and take off right where I've left off, and the business, because there's more people than me who are depending on my business to be successful.
Right.
Yeah.
And if I'm the one who's trying to hold everything together and trying to do all the work, if Travis actually does get hit by a truck, this business is in trouble. And you can't do that. As a business owner, you owe your family, you owe your employees more by handing off some work to other people and by preparing them in case maybe you just get sick for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And let them be able to take over and trust them to do what it is that needs to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely love that. What's our next takeaway?
Oh, I mean, kind of piggybacking off of that, as you grow and you scale, you need to have people that you trust to be able to do that. I mean, that's developing those relationships is crucial. So, I mean, like, why did I hire Matt? I mean, I knew his background. I knew what he's passionate about, and I wanted that on the team. He got the vision and the core values before we kind of wrote them out to like be there. I mean, he was already living them out, but I mean, having people in place, we got Taylor in the kitchen. We got Margie doing admin and HR stuff. We have Lance with sales. Like, we have people that are in the position that I can trust to grow this to another level. Like, I admit I took the business to this level, but to get to the next, I have to be able to delegate and give it to people that I trust and know. And the key with that is if they can do it 80% as well as you, that is successful.
Yeah. We've talked about that many times. The other thing we talk a lot about, or it's a recurring theme we hear from a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs and leaders of 20,000 employees or 2, is hiring to your culture first. You can teach the skills usually. I mean, you may not be able to teach somebody to cook if they just cannot.
Yeah, hire for character, train for skills.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Perfectly.
was it difficult? I mean, being a chef and your business is food, it's taste, it's quality. Was that difficult to hand off?
Oh, absolutely. Because that's what I love to do. I love cooking, feeding people. And I don't really get to do that now, but I have people that I trust, and I'm operating in the future, which is really difficult for somebody who, gets a prep list, can bust it out. Like, that's where I find success. That's where I find doing it. But for me to be able to grow, I have to grow in this area of being able to be futuristic. That's not one of my top characteristics on the Clifton strengths,
right?
Is futuristic. That's actually one of my bottom ones. But you know what? That doesn't have to stay a bottom one. I can work on it and get better at it with coaching, with practice.
Or surround yourself with people that are futuristic.
Yeah.
Also,
absolutely.
And how many chefs do you guys have working for you?
Right now in the kitchen, there are 2 full-time, and then there's about 4 part-time.
And do they collaborate a lot? Do they work together?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they came up, we have a Super Bowl special for today. And so if you want to get that was them. They collaborated that. They ran it by us. We got the marketing material out there. And so that was them. Like,
what's
we
Super Bowl
them.
special? Is there still time? There's still time.
Yeah,
still time.
Sure.
Until we
open
close.
until 5 p.m. Games at 6, I believe. It is our barbecue pulled pork. It's cooked overnight, served with a pretzel bun and mac and cheese.
Ooh.
Order in increments of 2, $20 for 2, $40 for 4. So essentially $10 a serving.
Wow. That's a
and
good
it's up online.
deal.
You can do it now if you'd like.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Speaking of that, how do I find you online?
You can go to whambammmealinapan.com.
Seriously, I love it.
Wham, WHAM, bammealinapan.com. ChefauChef, if you're doing like a catering for a wedding, you and your daughter-in-law, you and your daughter sitting down, go to ChefauChef.com, ChefAuChef.com, and you'll find all of the things you want to look at. But then just fill out the catering request form, and you'll get a call from Margie, and Margie's amazing to talk to.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And we have one more takeaway, right?
Yeah.
What's your last takeaway?
The last one I thought of is, this isn't necessarily business, it's personal. It's make time for your loved ones, make time to get away, make time to vacation, to explore. Because I feel like when I do go on vacation, that's when I get more motivation. I get more chances to give my team to operate without me, and taking those times to rest. I mean, my wife is really big in reading Charlie Cook's last book right now, The Sabbath, and really the whole purpose of that. And it's not just to have a break, but it's to just re-energize have a relationship with the creator, to worship, to really focus and give praise. And I don't know about you guys, but anytime you feel really down or negative, if you just kind of take a moment to say what you're grateful for, or write down what you're grateful for, it literally changes your mindset. And there's times where I'm just like, woe is me. But then I'm like, you know what? I have an amazing family. I have friends that love me. I have great workers. I have this. I think of start listing all the good things. And it just changes, and it gets me in a little bit of mindset, because it's just, you get down that negative trail and it gets scary.
Well, it's all mindset. I'm in an email group, 3 different groups actually, but basically total of 15 people. And every morning we each email 3 things that we're grateful for.
Oh, that's cool.
So it doesn't happen all at 7 a.m. or
that.
6 a.m. or 10. Sometimes they come in the evening. So all day long, periodically between emails, I'm opening one that says, today
Positive.
I'm grateful for, and it's awesome. I was going to say, I grew up when there were caves and there were symbols on the wall and in the 60s, and maybe it was what
were you there when mud was invented?
The 60s, I don't know. But one thing about it though is that I remember as a kid, everything was closed on Sunday.
Yeah,
I can remember when they first opened a gas station and people were like, oh my God, gas station is opening on Sunday. But what I loved about it is it was totally your day of rest.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember like naps were a thing on Sunday, or we'd just go for a drive. It was just family time, quiet time. You were alone. You didn't think about shopping or things you didn't have or whatever, because you knew you got taken care of on Saturday or Sunday. You weren't going to find a place open, and that's so far gone. But just to see it come, like Hobby Lobby's not open on Sundays, Chick-fil-A, different, and people close early on Sunday, but it'd be cool to have a day where things are closed, and that was just like society's day to rest, because it is very important.
You want COVID to come back?
That was a big question.
I do not want COVID to come back.
That was a big question, is where we're going to be open on 7 days a week. And we're like, our whole core purpose is we want families to be together. We want them to have that meal. So we have some shorter hours on Sunday, but it came down to, is like, I don't want to work Sundays. I want that day to be with my family, but I have a team that's willing to do that. And it's like putting the right people and having the right people there that can run it and that want to be there. Because there are people that don't observe Sundays, and I want to respect that. But they have days off during the week that they get.
A day. Well, that's what I was just going to say, a day.
Day.
Being a realtor, think about not getting a day off. You have to consciously have to have a day of fake appointments, so I'm not available that day. I'm filled up with appointments.
One cool thing that we are doing that I've done a lot of research on in the East and West Coast kitchens is 4 10-hour shifts. So my team really gets 3 days off.
Nice.
For the kitchen side of it.
I actually worked at when I lived in Colorado. I worked at a dairy. We worked 4 10s. It was spectacular.
It's awesome.
It was like we had Wednesdays and weekends off. It was unbelievable. But it's funny, the one thing that taking time for yourself, the one exclamation point that put it on it for me. Do you remember about 1.5 years, 2 years ago when Verizon went out nationwide?
Oh yeah.
And so there was no phone service.
Nope.
There was no text. There was no phone calls. There was no
Internet,
voicemail, nothing. Right.
Nice.
And it was spectacular. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need more days like this. And I mean, it was a nightmare for Verizon, and it was great for me.
Yeah.
I thought it was wonderful.
Yeah.
But you need those times to kind of charge your batteries.
Unplug and just, just focus on them and like the present, right? Living with the people that matter. I mean, it came to me a long time ago, 2017, when I was working all that much and I was hating life. And I was
that was for you, Gary.
Yeah. And it was like, why am I working this hard? What's the purpose of this? If I'm trying to make as much money as possible, but I'm not seeing my family, what's the point?
Yeah.
What is the point of all this?
Exactly.
When's enough going to be enough?
Yeah.
Asking that question.
No.
And so
I'm with you. So we got a hard break coming up here. That was 5 takeaways.
Sponsored by Nebraska Farmers Network. We want to thank Nebraska Farmers Network for sponsoring the show. NFN exists to support Nebraska farmers and ranchers through education, advocacy, and connection. It's about strengthening agriculture and the communities that depend on it, and keeping Nebraska farms Nebraska owned. To learn more, go to nebraskafarmernetwork.com. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider. Gary Tharnish, Travis Filing. We're talking with Aaron Young and Matt Rydberg from ChefauChef and Wham Bam Meal in a Pan. And we'll have more right after the break. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Gary Tharnish with Travis Filing. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider, sponsored by Wyuka Funeral Home and Cemetery. Today, our guests, Aaron Young and Matt Rydberg from ChefauChef and Wham Bam Meal in a Pan. And it's time for unexpected impact. Business is full of surprises, some good, some not so good, and just not so much. So guys, tell us about something unexpected that happened in your business, how you reacted to it, and what the impact was.
So the first thing that comes to mind is when you're working with, so this is business to business. The kind of where I first come from is boundaries, expectations. We had a really big client last year that was using us for a lot of events, but wasn't paying their bills on time or really in a timely manner. Typically how we worked, and this was all, the thing is we didn't have a main contract. Again, it wasn't documented. It was kind of just, handshake deals. And typically how we operate when we do an event, we want payment 2 weeks in advance with all the final details.
Right.
And so this client wasn't giving us details till a week out. And then we weren't getting payment for anywhere from 7 to 10 days afterwards, where we would want payment right away. And so we'd let the events go, but then everything started piling up, and it's like, there's a big, accounts receivable or payable,
big chunk of change
ready to go. So it's just like having to throw down the hammer for that, stand the ground, and ended up losing that contract, that business. And was it a little bit of a hurt? We're kind of feeling it because we had it a year ago, feeling it a little bit now, but everyone's just like, you got to stand your ground. You got to have,
and that's tough.
It is tough.
That is tough.
It's tough because a friendship was a little bit broken from that. And it was, I mean, from your guys' side, what do you remember kind of seeing and like how everyone was feeling when we were kind of talking about this could potentially happen, but we were all on the same page? I was very upfront of what kind of the game plan was. I didn't keep anything from the leadership team. Matt's on my leadership team. And so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the thing is that I came from a management role too at the radio station. So to watch Aaron, I always watch him as a manager and to see how he's handling situations, even watching him when he interacts with employees or customers, that's just my nature. But to watch him go through something and get the news and see the conversation happening real time, and to how he took that and didn't freak out and freak everybody else out who really didn't know the severity. We could go ahead and go, yeah, that's a pretty big client. That's probably going to be a nice chunk of change, but it's also going to be time that we have now open for new clients. And Aaron was pointing out a lot of that stuff. So to see somebody from a leadership management position who keeps calm in those moments, works through them with their leadership team, and everybody walks away with a good idea of what we're going to do to make this better, and nobody's freaking out. So that was a cool part about it. Aaron kept us cool, and inside, who knows how he's freaking out, if he was or wasn't, but I know to us that we all on the same page, and we walked out of that meeting feeling good.
As a business owner, he was freaking out. He was, just so you know.
But one of my other strengths is strategy, and I love chess, and that's something that I'm always kind of playing mental chess, or like, if I do this, what's this move going to have? Yeah, trying to be
the same way
at that. So you get it, and so it's like, I know this is gonna hurt us, especially when we're slow. But it did open up opportunities when we were busy in the fall, and then in the winter time. But just typically in the flow of catering, it's really tough. And I even prepped the team for this. I was like, guys, we're going to go through December, and it's going to be really, really busy. Probably one of our best years. And it was just this last December was one of our best to date. And then January, it just drops down.
Yep.
And so we literally, we just did the numbers for January, and what we did for total sales in January, we did within 1 week of December. Like that's just how busy difference it is.
That's not surprising to me. Yeah.
Well, I remember we had landed a client. This was probably 10 or 15 years ago. Huge client. Yeah. And the person that was running the company, it's a great company, but the person who was running the company, she hand signed every check, right? And so we were doing pay-per-click for them, and it was $125,000 a month. Well, you can't bill it up front, right? Because I don't know how many people are going to click, and so we'd bill it at the end, but we had to pay for it up front. And 1 month, 2 months, 3 months goes by, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, our lines of credit are full, our credit cards are maxed out, and we are still trying to make payroll. We're taking out another mortgage on the house to pay a bill because, you know, this woman is out of town or on vacation or whatever it is and couldn't get around to hand signing a check. Owed us about $400,000 at one point, and we're sitting here getting ready to go broke and in the same boat going, man, I don't want to upset this client because we don't want them to go away, but we're going to go away
and
if
you're
we
not
go
a
one
bank.
more month.
Yeah,
right.
You're
not a bank.
Yeah, we're paying huge interest on some.
So
I mean,
you're
credit
losing
cards,
money.
22%.
Correct.
And at some point as a business owner, you got to go, no, this is not right. And it's easier said than done. And I'm sure weeks and weeks and weeks of sleepless nights going, how do I handle this? But good for you. I mean, you have to do it.
Yeah, I've done the same thing in my business. And I remember, 6-7 months afterwards, when we didn't have to deal with them anymore, we all started realizing not only were they not paying their bill on a timely basis, they were the biggest paying customer we had. They didn't follow what everybody else had to follow because we didn't want to lose them as a customer.
Yeah.
They were always the ones that we had to run. In your case, it'd be like running to the grocery store to get a special ingredient because they didn't tell you ahead of time and you now can't get it. For us, it was go get a plant that we don't normally have because somebody saw a picture.
Yeah,
we've seen it in every movie though.
TikTok.
It's like when the girlfriend gets
exactly.
the confidence to leave the dumb boyfriend who keeps asking for things. You're like, wait a minute, it just comes to that day and you're like, why wouldn't she have done that before?
Yeah.
But then you see all the good stuff that comes after it, and we've seen that, which is good. Is to take that leap of faith, I think, and to stick with it and not waver, and not get wishy-washy. Stay respectful to that client, because even though you're not in a relationship with them anymore, be respectful to the person that you're parting from. And that's what I saw. And so I learned a lot with this, the fallout. So not only did our company, or did we come back from that better than, but to learn things and watching a manager is also very cool.
And I've seen too, where a lot of those relationships, if you keep it on good terms, they'll come back.
Time heals, man.
I mean, it does.
Yeah.
All it takes is, man, we didn't have this problem when we had ChefauChef doing maybe we should talk to him.
Right.
Okay, well, here's the terms. We'd love to have you back.
And everybody grows.
Yeah.
Well, here's the
hope.
deal. Yeah, exactly. This is going to pivot a little bit here and maybe needs an adjustment, but you have to deal with it. I'm sure. I just know, I was the co-chair of the big gal at the lead that we just had this last week. And when you look at feeding 440 people, and then you have 35 meal restrictions, and a couple of them got real. How do you deal with that? I mean, because it's a one-off, right? Like you in your business, you
Matt's
make
laughing.
money making 440 of the same thing.
Yeah.
So if you've got to turn around, then like, what are your limitations? I would think like we paid so much a plate, and I'm sure the ones that had to be different. Well, I think there was a vegetarian meal that was already pre-planned what it was, but then you'd even have people like,
nitrates and
all sorts of stuff.
Low
It's
sodium
never
and-
ending. I've helped caterers before, being in the floral business for all the years. There were times I would help caterers, and I remember one time, 15, 20 years ago, Tasteful Years was around for a long time. Tasteful Years Catering. She might have sold shortly after you. When did you start your company?
2012.
Yeah, so it was probably around then or a little
that
after
Kim?
that. Yeah, Kim Rock.
Yeah.
And I remember once helping her, and this lady just came at me about there's nothing here that she can eat, and they said this was going to be a vegetarian meal, but she needs to know that her food never touched any cooking service with this or with that or with and I just listened to her go on and on and on and on, and I said, I'm sorry, I can go back and see if there's something we can feed you. And I remember Kim was like, a bag of walnuts that haven't been opened. Take it out and see if she
Probably has a tree.
Kim's gonna kill me if she knows I'm saying this on the radio.
Yeah.
But it made me just think about that. Just has to be
So we communicate that that has to be on the invoice. Like if you have so many different, so we can plan for it. Because the worst is like we don't have a kitchen where typically we're going, and we have all the food prepared. So if somebody needs a dairy-free meal, and our chicken has the sauce on it, and the mashed potatoes are already made, like there's nothing we can do. And that is a horrible feeling. Yeah. But if we know about ahead of time, then we have a separate meal for that person. That's chicken, no sauce, and we can make mashed potatoes without that.
Right.
And that's the hospitality side of it, is giving that to that person, saying, hey, this is even a separate container. It's safe to eat. Like making them feel confident in the food, and then saying the green beans, the salad is all dairy free. Go get it.
Or the other big thing now is it's all gluten free.
Yep.
That's
so one thing that we do with that is a lot of our menus are gluten free, and if we have dinner rolls, we put them on the end of the buffet line. so that it helps prevent cross-contamination.
Perfect.
So
yeah, because that's just become a big issue. And I thought, man, for a caterer, that would just be.
It is, but it's also really fun when someone's like, hey, I need a gluten-free menu. When we give them the menu, like, that's all gluten-free. We're like, yep. They're like, wow.
Yeah, that's sweet. Yeah. So one of my daughters is dairy, gluten-free, and like 12 other things. Like, I can't even.
Where did she get the weak genetics?
She from her mom. Okay. She has because look at me. I eat everything. I'm not allergic to a thing. I watch you eat and I gain weight. And I don't care what you're eating. I'll have some of it too. But she basically, I mean, it was like, you know, when you're going to weddings and stuff, you just cannot expect that somebody's going to be. So she a lot of times will actually bring her own food. I mean, like if I cook chicken for her, she's coming over for family meal. We're having chicken, whatever. I literally will cook a chicken breast with salt and that's it. And she's happy. It works great for her, as opposed to being worried about. It's pretty serious what her
allergies are. Or
food
insecurity, or,
right.
Food intolerances.
Yes, there you go.
That's the BA term.
Well, that was probably just a fun subject for me to bring up.
Yeah, no, thank you. It is. It's
so let's talk about your worst nightmare.
Yes, yeah, right. Well, that was This Needs an Adjustment, sponsored by Ascend Chiropractic. When you need an adjustment in your business or in your body, do it before things get out of hand. Total chiropractic care for adults and pediatrics, rehabilitation, acupuncture, cupping, weight loss. I need the weight loss, man. I really need the weight loss.
We all do.
The list goes on and on. To see their full list of services or to schedule an appointment, go online to ascendchiropractic.com. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider. Travis File and Gary Tharnish talking with Aaron Young and Matt Rydberg from ChefauChef and Wham Bam Meal in a Pan. We're going to have more right after this. And we're back on the 402 Business Insider. This segment sponsored by Integrated Behavioral Health Services. Travis File and Gary Tharnish talking with Aaron Young and Matt Rydberg from ChefauChef and Wham Bam Meal in a Pan. You have a book.
Yes, sir.
Is it a coloring book?
It is not.
Okay.
It is a hybrid book.
Lord.
Yeah.
Okay.
Book,
it's a doodle by number.
Okay.
Connect the dots. That's what you do. That's what you do in business, right? Steve Jobs
I forgot
said that.
about those. I forgot
That's
about
pretty
those.
true,
That's
right?
True.
Yeah. Great ideas are just connecting the dots.
That's it.
And
Tell us about your book.
Yeah. No. So I was at a mastermind a few years ago. We took a private jet, flew down to Bentonville, Arkansas, and just had this great mastermind group. And one of the speakers, who's from Lincoln, was like, if you want to make yourself different than your competition, have a book. And at that time I was consuming at least one audiobook a week. I was trying to read one physical book a month. And that's a kind of a rhythm I try to do to this day. I was like learning. That's one of my other top strengths, is a learner.
Wise.
And really big into Jesse Cole right now with the Santa Ana Bananas. I mean, he's literally a modern day Walt Disney and P.T. Barnum.
His story's amazing.
It is so cool. But yeah, I just loved his style. Alec Hormozy, who does the $100 million, he does the leads, the marketing, and the oh my goodness, there's another one. But anyway, so it was a goal of mine. I wanted to have a book. I wanted to be able to just set myself different than my competition, because no other competition in town or really close has something on catering. And so it's just a life goal, because I wasn't a reader growing up. And I just kind of, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And finally it was just like, you know what? I had the itch back in April of last year. I was like, let's really focus and do this. And so just sat down, kind of figured out why I wanted to write the book. So defining my why for doing it was really huge. And then, my leadership team was kind of coming up. I had everyone in place. So it's like I had a little bit of time to do it, and got it done.
So what was your why? What was your why you wanted to write the book?
I wanted because I knew we were going to be growing and there was going to be a lot of people learning about us. And I wanted to be able to have our partners or new clients like learn about us. So my vision was, if, I'm putting a bid out there for an event, I can say, hey, what's your mailing address? I want to send you my book. So something to keep us a little bit, just to learn a little bit more about us than just going to our website or watching a podcast or something like this. Something you can actually touch, feel, see, and it has some of our recipes in there that we've had from the very beginning that helped grow to ChefauChef and what it is today. So that was kind of my vision, is kind of explaining the history of ChefauChef, why I chose to do catering, why I love what I do, why I'm kind of going all in on it. And and then also there's not a lot I feel like the books are either like there's nothing, or you're like a multi-million famous chef. There's like really nothing in between.
Mm-hmm.
And that's super intimidating for somebody who's like, I really want to start a food business. I just don't know what to do. And a lot of local chefs and food trucks were reaching out to me asking for advice. So it's like, how can I put this kind of what I'm telling all of them into a book format that kind of tells my story, but also can help them really go after their dream. And so it's ChefauChef Feed the Dream. Is the name of the book.
And so you're really helping out other entrepreneurs who want to get into your industry.
Yeah, I call them foodpreneurs.
Foodpreneurs.
I love that.
I like that
new word, foodpreneurs.
Yep, foodpreneurs.
Read the book Unreasonable Hospitality. Have you read that yet?
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier.
Is that not a good book?
Yeah,
you probably right when you said wife, not life, or life,
Yeah.
not wife, whatever
Well,
it
yeah,
was.
no,
I miss things all along the way.
Well,
At my age, it's just kind of like
he says service is black and white, hospitality's color.
Yes, that's
And
right. I
so-
did hear that part.
Yep. That's from him, and I quote that in the book.
Oh yeah, that's a great book.
It is.
Yeah.
Just the stories behind it. And again, like there's just all those books. But I mean, he was the #1 restaurant in the world. Like, again, like starting platform to #1. I mean, when he started the book, they were number 50 and he wasn't happy with that. And he's like, how do we get to #1? And he's like, our hospitality has to be unreasonable.
In the world.
In the world. We're not just talking New York.
Yeah.
We're talking the entire world.
Wow.
Yeah. #1
It's a really good book.
in the world.
You could take it into any industry. So our CEO is suggesting all realtors read it, and it's already made a difference on my mind, just different things you think about.
What are you implementing? Or what
Well, I just want to make sure I'm memorable,
Yeah.
so I'm following up when I need to, staying on top of things, getting hold of people when I need to, meeting them where they're at. Instead of a standard gift everybody gets when it's closed, I do something different. Like at a family moved from Seattle, they got 2 little kids, so I gave them membership to the Children's Museum.
Oh, fun.
Oh,
Right,
clever.
they're new to town, something that's great, right? So there's clients at work that just give all their new clients a wine basket. Well, not everybody drinks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like there's nothing worse than showing up somewhere
Giving a
with
gift that
something
they
like
can't
that.
have.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's memorable. I mean, that will serve you
Little
unbelievably
thing,
well.
And that's
all
a big-
those little things make a difference.
That's the hospitality side. It's like, they have the kids, they're new to town, Children's Museum. So it's like customizing it to each person.
Yeah. And I'll say yes. I try not to say no anymore. Or I'm not, I'll say yes and figure out a way to do it. Sometimes I'm thinking I'm a complete idiot. I probably am a complete idiot, but I hang up the phone. I figured out I'm solution minded.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
I think those things make a difference.
Problem
There's just a
solving.
lot of little things I'm putting into place that make a difference.
Yeah, no, that's
So,
awesome. That's cool.
yeah.
That's the key to the book, right? Anyone can read and listen and can read about a recipe, but actually doing it is the hard part. And so that's what I love about the books. And we call it the chew and spit method. If I'm reading something, I chew and I swallow what I really, really like, and then I try to apply that. If it's not practical to me, I just spit it out. And so luckily, and you can see that I do consume a lot. So
Yes.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that's part of learning and growing.
So,
And
where can people find the book?
on Amazon
Okay.
and Audible and Kindle.
And Kindle.
So, yep.
Very
just
good.
ChefauChef Feed the Dream.
Who read the book?
I read the book. So you get to listen to me.
Oh.
I read it really slow. So I recommend doing it 1.5 or 2 times. I listen to a lot of
I do
books
it
on 2
4-speed and I pitch it up too, just so I can hear him sound like a chipmunk.
You would. I've only known you for a little while, Matt, but that does not surprise me.
But,
Now I want to do that.
I will say it is actually, it's designed to be read within 45 minutes to an hour. So it's not a huge book. I just try to get to the point on each chapter
That's sweet.
and just give you like the critical information. And then my goal with it is to, eventually dive deeper in future books and things like that. But it's just a good starting point. Is it perfect? No. I haven't updated it. The first edition, there are no page numbers.
That's good.
Oh, how fun.
I like that.
There's no page numbers. And my guy's like, I had a guy's like, why do I want page numbers? I want it to be different. 2, you're supposed to consume it in one taking. It's not supposed to be something that you keep in the bathroom and read a chapter every time you're in there. Like, I want you just to be able to pick it up and read it, and it flows really nice so you can finish it really quick.
Are there chapters?
Oh yeah, there's 8 chapters.
Yeah, it's all one sentence.
I'm not going to do chapters with mine then, just to be a little different.
Yeah.
I want to write a book. No
Page
chapters,
numbers.
no numbers. And you start at the back and go forward.
Ooh, I like
That's what
that.
I'm going to do.
There you go.
I love
It's
it.
like the Animaniacs.
I love it. I'm anxious to read it. I'll read it.
Yeah, thank you.
When did it come out?
Late May of 2025.
Okay.
So just last
Yeah.
May.
Are sales going well? Is it
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to judge because as an author and entrepreneur, like I want to sell 1 million.
1 million
I
copies?
think we're at like 150,000. No, just regular. But it's one of those that it's the people that buy it and then they reach out to me and say, hey, I really like this takeaway. This was really great. I'm going to implement this. That to me is worth 1 million books being sold. Like that's the greatest thing. And it was more for me as like, it's something I never thought I would do. And I did it. It's like people that run marathons. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But I will write a book.
Well, we had John Barry on who wrote Veteran Led.
Okay. Yeah.
And you know, I said, how many of you sold it? Because I don't know. I did it just for me. I did it to do it, and I hand it out and kind of use it as a business card. If people want to read it, great. If not, no big deal. Yeah. It was more like he seemed like he learned more about himself and his business by writing the book. Yeah.
Well, you would. It's so much self-reflection. I mean, you really would learn a lot.
Yeah,
I would think.
Well, for me, it's also accountability, right? Like if I'm going to put it out there, I better be willing to live it.
Yeah. That's true.
So, and one thing I love about this guy is he keeps me like, there's times where he catches me at bad times and he's like, what should we do there? And I'm like, man, and he's just like, that's not very hospitable. I'm like, you're right, buddy.
Do you throw quotes from the book?
No, well, here's the thing is I think that if we can't do that with each other, then we're not helping each other out.
Yeah.
So I mean, this guy was there in the hardest time of my life. So when he's seen me at my ugliest, and so when I see him at his ugliest, then I like to correct it too.
Yeah.
Like at least give him some ideas.
That's what a friend is.
Yeah.
Right? Something that they can say what's real, knowing that there's not going to be any repercussions.
Right.
It's like,
they're not going to lose your friendship.
Yeah.
Because of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, name of the book:
ChefauChef Feed the Dream.
ChefauChef Feed the Dream on Amazon.
Yep. Not Chef on Chef. That'll get you
That's
something
a whole
completely
different website. Don't go to that website.
Got a fine for that one.
We did an April Fool's last year. We're like, we're changing to Chef on Chef, and we put me on top of my chef's shoulders.
Oh, that's funny.
Like a little kid.
That's hilarious.
But just things people are like, really? Are you changing it to that? Like, is it really going to be that? No, it's April 1st.
Yo.
I fall for those all the time because I pay no attention.
Oh, we know. We got an order
today?
at Chef on Chef on April 1st from you.
Busted. Well, we have a break coming up here and one last segment coming up afterwards. So I want to give a quick shout out to Lincoln Coin and Bullion. Lincoln Coin and Bullion is your trusted source for gold and silver, rare coins. And with the price of silver, man, what a roller coaster! Silver and gold.
Kidding.
It's
it
like
has been. Up and
I saw
down.
the greatest meme. It was what was the Wolf of Wall Street, right? And it says like silver owners today, and then you hear it was our time to party, like hey ho, right? And then silver owners today, and it was when they were going through the storm. What is going on? It was hysterical. But also there's a lot of scams going on right now. People are like trying to buy and sell on Facebook Marketplace, and don't do it. Go to Lincoln Coin and Bullion, LincolnCoinandBullion.com. We appreciate their sponsorship. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish. We're talking with Matt Rydberg and Matt. I did call you Matt, and Aaron Young. That's all right. Yeah. ChefauChef and Wham Bam Meal in a Pan. We'll have more right after this break. And we're back on the last segment of the 402 Business Insider, sponsored by James Arthur Vineyards. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish. We're talking with Aaron Young and Matt Rydberg, ChefauChef and Wham Bam Meal in a Pan. And this is the last segment. We just kind of toss the keys over to you guys, talk about what's going on, what's new, what's on the menu. I hope beef tips are still on the menu because it's been a week.
We're going to leave them on there just for you.
Good. You should.
I know it's like
you should.
I wonder what he likes.
Yeah.
I wonder what you would like.
I'm telling you,
I wonder
I
what
might
you
go
would
get
like.
it today.
Tips.
I might get it today.
No, so we have a set menu now. So the idea is, we want families to be like, my kid loves the chicken and the veggies. We want that to always be available. I mean, we're open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., Sundays 10 to 5. We'll always have the beef tips on the menu because that's our number one seller. Out of all the years we were doing it, that was always the number one. We want to have that available so people can count on us. Again, when you're thinking what's for dinner, what's for lunch, Wham Bam. We want that to be the first thing that pops in your mind, and having a set menu, what you're going to get. I mean, we all go to restaurants and we usually order the same thing. Very few of us will go to different restaurants or go to the same restaurant and order different things. And so I want people to be able to get our spinach archer chicken, our roasted red pepper, our herb chicken that's dairy free whenever they want to.
So I have a question for you. Just kind of a thought actually just came through my head. These things can sometimes these can sometimes be scary.
How insightful.
Hopefully this is not scary. I'm going to incite you. So have you thought of doing a subscription, or do you? Like where say, hey, for, I don't know what your average meal for 4 is 40. So, hey, for $180 a month, you can come 4 times your choice. It's just a subscription. If you don't have 4 that month, you can have 8 the next. Have you ever thought of doing that?
We've tried. We've kicked around the idea a few times. It's just more the back end logistics side of it. We use Square for everything.
Oh yeah, that would be a challenge, right?
And so it's definitely on.
Just curious.
No, it's on our long-term vision planning. Like we want to be able to do something like that. But we've also found out that people are fatigued of subscriptions. Because when we did the Lawn and Leisure show last year,
true by this point,
everyone was like, is this a subscription? Yeah. It was a very negative connotation. It's like, no,
you
you
have to sign up for something else.
Yeah. No, this is, you pick it when you want. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm not committed to anything, right? No, you just order what you want. Oh,
I like that.
That like kind of goes back to that. Just everyone's trained right now to do a subscription, and it makes sense. But with us, it's really, I mean, it makes sense with like the car washes, right? They sell it like one car wash is $20, or for $40, you get a month-long subscription, you know, and use as much as you want. It's a little more difficult for the food side of it because our costs are a lot higher, but it is something that we are playing with and we want to do. But right now it's just getting people to come to the store, try the food. Because we've learned once people try our food, they're like, oh, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
This is real. Yeah. Like you can taste the difference. Like it's like my grandma's food or my mom's food. Or,
and I can see the fatigue thing. It's like, really, do I need a subscription to a facial razor?
Yeah.
Or
a watch or
right.
I mean,
razors,
they have watch
like
clubs subscriptions. You can get different watches.
A watch club?
Yeah, there's everything. And so it's just kind of, I mean, flowers.
How many watches do you
My daughter is in a puzzle thing on Amazon.
Puzzle club?
Puzzle club. So she gets new puzzles all the time. It's the only thing that quiet her brain.
I mean, Legos has one like that too, where you can, it's, I mean, there's so many different things. And so being a little different, we even like, I did research and there's tip fatigue. When people go through a drive-through or walk into a place, they're just tired of tipping.
Yep.
Okay. So we've talked about this.
We took that away
a lot. Like where and when don't you tip? Like if I walk into a coffee shop, I order a coffee, they turn around, they pull a button and hand it to me. Do I owe them a tip?
Yeah. And
you think so?
Now what they do is they have the big iPads and they flip it around so everybody is standing over your shoulder watching to see how cheap you are.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you're kidding me.
The concession stands at like the arenas and CHI. It's like, the food's already done. Everything's done. Why do I need to tip you 20% on my $80, you know, 2 burgers and 2 drinks?
I always say it's emotional blackmail is what it is.
It really
it's not tipping. It's not service.
I do it during conversations with friends and I just hand them my phone with a tip on it after we're done.
You go.
Good. Everybody's
hilarious.
Perfect. Okay, I am not tipping.
So,
I'm just
but I mean, just things like that. We're trying to be more consumer focused. That's something I got from Jesse Cole. I mean, it's all about the fans. It's all about the pans. It's all about the people and making it the best interaction for them and taking away those negative connotations that a lot of people do have.
It's hospitable and it makes you memorable.
Yeah. I love that. I love that.
But one thing that people don't know that we do that we're really proud of and that we love, you know, another one of our core values is impact, not just with our team, but with our community. And since 2018, every portion that we sell, we donate back to the Food Bank of Lincoln. It's not like, hey, do you want to round this up to the Food Bank of Lincoln? Do you want to donate this? Every portion we sell, we automatically give back to the Food Bank of Lincoln. So when you're feeding your family and you're ordering a 4 portion, the amount that we give back will feed essentially 4 people at the food bank too. So your meal is not only feeding your family, but it's also feeding another family that suffers from food insecurity in our community. And since we've been doing that as a small business, we've been able to give over $85,000 since 2018, which equates to over like 217,000 meals. It used to be for every $1 they could do 3 meals, but with inflation, it's for every $1, it's 2 meals now. But so that's where we got kind of the 2.
Still, that's excellent.
Well, amazing for you. That is amazing.
No, and it's something we really pride ourselves on and we love, and it's just a great talking point.
I always think the roundup thing, like he goes to me, would you like to round up for this or whatever? And I said, yes, I'd love to add to your tax deduction on your statement at the end of this year. You're going to send me a 1099 for my donation. Is that so selfish of me? I know, but I'm just it does make me wonder. Like
as a business owner, I'm like, you're getting the credit for, you know, my donation.
Yeah. Right. A donation is something you give of what you have received yourself. Not
we just do it off of our profit.
Yeah, which is great.
Because I mean,
that's great.
Good for you.
We do
everyone deserves to eat. I mean, everybody
does eat. That's the coolest part with it is that you eating is feeding someone who wasn't going to eat.
Whether
you don't even know it or not.
That's super cool.
Right. Just by eating and doing something what we consider, you know, obviously something we need to do, but selfishly not even knowing that you're doing it for someone else, you are. And how many people have eaten over this amount of years is just awesome. So great.
Now, when did the new store open up?
Officially opened almost 2 weeks ago.
It was
so
26th. It's brand new.
January. Yeah.
And the location?
86th and Holdridge area. The address is 2111 North 86th, Lincoln, Nebraska. There's a Planet Fitness over there. There's the Pizza Ranch, Long John Silver's.
Oh, yeah.
It's always funny when I mention something. It's like, oh yeah, I know where the Long John Silver's is, or I know where the Pizza Ranch is.
You never heard about the fitness place, did you?
Well, you're talking to two fat guys, so we know where the pizza place is. We know where LeBron is.
Hey.
I don't even know what Planet Fitness does.
Hey.
They sell food
I'm
there?
proportionately elderly. Would you please get it correct? Oh my goodness.
So what's the future look like for you guys? I mean, what's
I wanna see
obviously
what
you're
Matt
right into
says,
the next step, but
The future, shoot. I don't know. I don't know what the future looks like because right now I'm just trying to be where my feet are.
yeah,
Truthfully.
there you go.
Nice.
But the
Go
truth,
clean the bathroom.
Nice
but
summary.
truthfully, here's the thing about it is that I think that we're all kind of in this flexible, where do we go? How is this going to grow? We know we have certain things in the core values we want to happen. We want to continue to impact the community. We want to continue to feed people. We want to continue to make memorable moments, and we want to get people around the table more. So what do? Well, there's a lot of ideas that we have that we filter through those. And so what the future is hopefully a lot more families around tables, people without any food or eating, and then all of us are just helping and serving other people.
I mean, big 3-year goal is prove this concept in this location. Everyone, majority of Lincoln, when they think what's for dinner, Wham Bam. You know, we prove this concept here. We can pay down some debt, raise some money, and then a south location.
Yeah.
Again, I want to buy land. I want to build a building. I want to own that. But then we have a south location with the drive-through for that site, because that's our biggest negative comments on Facebook right now is, oh, you're on the northeast side of town. And so it's like, we'll get there. But phase 1 is like right now we're responsible. We got land and stuff that we could afford. We didn't overstretch our limits because like we knew essentially we're almost kind of a startup again in this new location.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but with that, we're doing some really fun promotions. And one thing that we want to promote more of is we call them yum raisers, not fundraisers, but yum raisers.
I love that.
And so we have a great promotion coming up on February 19th with LPS's Spark summer program that they do. We're going to help them raise funds. And on the 19th, 20% of our sales, you don't have to use a promo code. You don't have to do anything. You just come support. 20% of sales is going to go right back to the Spark program to help get supplies and food for the 135-ish students that they have every week come through for their summer camps. That helps
awesome.
kids with science, technology, it's arts, everything. It's a really cool program for them. And so we want to do that with youth sports. We want to do that with nonprofits. We want to help people.
Outstanding, man. I appreciate it. Guys, thanks so much for coming in. I appreciate it. Yeah. This was a lot of fun. Just a quick shout out, Lincoln Chamber of Commerce. We want to thank them for sponsoring the show. You guys have been listening to the 402 Business Insider. And next week, we have a short show on Saturday. So it's just 30 minutes because there's a basketball game. And then Sunday, we're doing a 2-hour show. Bringing in Todd Calfee. Todd used to own the Minnow Project, big ad agency in town. Yeah. Todd's an awesome guy. Yeah. We've got a couple of calls out. Paul Jarrett might come in. Oh, cool. Marty Hager might come in. And we are going to break down some Super Bowl advertising since Super Bowl's coming up today. So next week, tune in Saturday, 10 to 10:30, and Sunday, 10 to noon. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider, Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish. We will see you guys twice next week. Have a good one.
Go Hawks.
Thank you.